In the spring of 2025, something happened on Mount Everest that no one saw coming. Over 500 climbers reached the summit of the world's tallest mountain, and yet, almost no one lost their life. This was a season filled with violent storms, overcrowded camps, and a wave of tech-driven record attempts, but somehow, Everest had one of its safest years in recent memory. The question is, how did this happen, and what does it mean for the future of one of the most dangerous mountains on Earth? In 2025, Nepal handed out 446 climbing permits for the south side of Everest, each one costing a staggering $11,000. But that was just the beginning. When you include the Sherpa teams, expert guides, and logistics crews, more than 1,000 people were active on the mountain during May's short summit window. By May 24th, over 500 climbers had already made it to the top, from international mountaineers to local Sherpas and elite speed climbers. On a single day, May 18th, a jaw-dropping 129 people reached the summit. Yet despite the massive crowds and the brutal conditions, something shocked the mountaineering world. The death toll stayed incredibly low. Only 7 people lost their lives, including just 2 foreign climbers and 5 Nepalis, most of them Sherpa or base camp workers. That's a dramatic drop compared to 2023, when 18 people didn't make it home. So, what changed? What's behind this sudden rise in survival on the deadliest climb on Earth? Before we dive into the question of what changed on Everest in 2025, I would like to say, I'm a small channel sharing these incredible and often tragic stories from the world's highest peaks. If you're enjoying this video, please consider hitting that subscribe button and giving this video a like. It might seem small, but it helps a lot on the road to my first 1,000 subscribers. Thank you so much. And now, let's find out what is different about Everest in 2025. Many experts believe the answer lies in a radical shift in climbing strategy. For decades, summiting Everest meant spending 6 to 8 weeks on the mountain, moving up and down between camps to let the body adjust to the thin air. But in 2025, a new wave of climbers changed the game. They use cutting-edge methods like pre-acclimatization in hypoxic tents, and even inhaled xenon gas, a rare element known to boost red blood cell production. These breakthroughs allowed climbers to cut their expedition time down drastically and reach the summit faster than ever before. Take, for example, a team of 4 British ex-military climbers. They trained for months in low-oxygen tents from the comfort of their own homes, then took it a step further by inhaling medically supervised doses of xenon gas in Germany. From there, they boarded a flight from London to Nepal, jumped into a helicopter straight to base camp, and just 5 days later, they were standing on the summit of Mount Everest. Another jaw-dropping story came from American climber Andrew Ushakov. After spending more than 400 hours training in a hypoxic chamber, he left New York on May 15th and arrived at the top of Mount Everest in less than 4 days. His climb set a new record for the fastest known ascent from sea level to the summit. 2025 also saw a massive rise in what's now being called helicopter mountaineering. Climbers bypassed long treks and acclimatization stages by flying straight to higher camps, saving time but raising serious questions about safety and fairness. Critics argue it turns the Everest experience into a luxury shortcut rather than a true test of endurance. These lightning-fast climbs triggered heated debate across the mountaineering world. Some praised the bold innovation and the use of cutting-edge science, while others claimed it stripped away the true spirit of Everest. As the speed records keep falling, a quiet question lingers among veteran mountaineers. Is faster always better? When you compress weeks of acclimatization into a few artificial hacks, are you still respecting the mountain or just beating a system? To some, it feels like Everest is no longer being climbed. It's being conquered, packaged, and marketed. Whether you admire it or criticize it, one thing is clear. A new era has begun, where climbers can now reach the summit and be back home in under a week. Alongside the record-breaking speed climbs came some truly historic milestones. Nirmal Nimsdai Purya, the legendary mountaineer who stunned the world in 2019 by summiting all 14 of the planet's 8,000-meter peaks in just 6 months, returned in 2025 with an even more ambitious goal. He launched what he calls the Hat-Trick Challenge, aiming to climb all 14 of those deadly peaks not once, not twice, but 3 times. On May 21st, he reached the summit of Kanchenjunga without using bottled oxygen, marking his 49th 8,000-meter peak and his 21st summit without any supplemental oxygen at all. Just 2 days later, Neela Kiani made history of her own by becoming the first Pakistani woman to summit 12 of the world's 14 highest peaks. She's now on the verge of joining one of the most exclusive clubs in mountaineering. Fewer than 60 people on Earth have ever conquered them all. But what makes her story even more inspiring is who she is. Neela isn't a full-time athlete. She's a banker, a mother, and a former national boxer, proving that world-class strength doesn't just come from training, it comes from heart. More groundbreaking ascents soon followed. Ava Steinwald, at 62 years old, became the oldest American woman ever to stand on top of Mount Everest. But the very next day, her 17-year-old friend Emma Schwerin made history of her own, becoming the youngest American woman to reach the summit. With that climb, Emma also completed the 7 summits, conquering the highest peak on every continent, all before her 18th birthday. Kyrgyz climber Azil Bibajisheva and Indian home baker turned mountaineer Safrina Liev also carved their names into the history books, becoming the first women from Kyrgyzstan and Kerala to reach the summit of Everest. Their stories of grit and determination lit up headlines and inspired thousands in their home countries. But even with all the records, tech, and triumphs, Everest hasn't changed its true nature. It's still one of the most dangerous places on Earth. In late May, a powerful cyclone formed off the Bay of Bengal, forcing teams to scramble for the summit before weather windows slammed shut. High winds battered the slopes, and overcrowding reached critical levels. Photos showed climbers stuck in traffic jams deep in the death zone, where even a minor delay could mean disaster. While the spotlight shines on record breakers and elite climbers, it often misses the quiet suffering in the shadows. For every selfie snapped at the summit, there's a porter carrying triple loads without proper gear, or a Sherpa guide risking his life for someone else's dream. These untold stories deserve just as much attention, because without them, no summit would ever happen. While the world celebrated the success stories, the Sherpas, those who make it all possible, were facing a different reality. In 2025, their struggle became impossible to ignore. A viral video showed 2 elderly Sherpa women hauling massive loads up the mountain with barely any gear. No oxygen, no high-end boots. Just raw strength. The video sparked outrage. Many porters are still climbing without proper equipment, health checks, or protection. Several Sherpas died this year after falling sick at high altitude, while wealthy climbers flew in by helicopter and reached the summit in days. The Sherpas walked every step, often underpaid, overworked, and under-equipped. The backlash is growing. Veteran guides and activists are calling for stricter rules on expedition size, mandatory health screenings for porters, and better treatment for the Nepali staff who risk their lives for every summit attempt. And now, a question is going around in the mountaineering world. Is Everest still the mountain of legends, or has it become something else? Some say it's turning into a circus of wealth, tech, and selfie-driven glory. Others see it as progress, where innovation opens the mountain to more people and makes it safer than ever before. What's perhaps most exciting and emotional about the Everest 2025 season isn't just the records, but who's breaking them. Mothers, retirees, home bakers, and teenage girls are doing what was once reserved for elite male athletes. The mountain is no longer just a proving ground for the world's strongest. It's becoming a symbol of what ordinary people can do with extraordinary willpower. But no matter how fast you climb, how much oxygen you carry, or how advanced your training is, one truth never changes. Everest still rises 8,849 meters above sea level, and every summit, no matter how you get there, still demands your respect. If you found this story moving, consider liking, sharing, and subscribing for more stories from the world's highest and deadliest mountains.